Te estaba buscando.
¿Quieres una copa?
Por favor, Hardin.
No eres tú la que acaba de descubrir que su vida entera es una puta mentira, así que bebe conmigo o lárgate.
Yeah, do you know what? I love the idea of doing more training for roles and specific training. For example, if I were to do like a boxing movie, having a full transformation and a PT, diet plan, and I would love that so much. But for this one, we did get training, but it was no more than just, I think like 3 one-hour sessions with a boxing trainer, which was great fun. And I think for what we did in the film, that's all we really needed. But I kind of wish I could have done more. I do love that side of things. I do love to, you know, have some real specific training in certain departments, for example, boxing. So yeah, I did get to do a little bit, but I would have loved to do more. I remember Joe started to write them down, which was quite smart because everyone, obviously, we always forget towards the end. So Joe would write them down. Do you know what? I'm so sorry that I don't have any off the top of my head, but I can just very generally speaking, because we shot in Bulgaria through lockdown, we were literally living with each other. And I think it's the same story for the previous film because we obviously shot, you know, two back to back and treated them as one long film. But spending a lot of the time on the same hotel floor together, locked in, we kind of all became kids again. It was a bit like Lord of the Flies and everything kind of just, yeah, it was fun, but you know, broke down a little bit. But we had Nerf guns, we had like people putting furniture. It started with 1 cup of water outside someone's door, which then turned to, I don't know if you've seen the videos of like just a whole floor of water when they come out their door, just loads of water cups. Yes. And we had Nerf gun battles and yeah, so no one was safe by the end of it. Like I said, it was like Lord of the Flies, so yeah. I'll keep thinking, if I think of a blooper to the end, I'll... Such a good question. I feel like a lot of things in life and a lot of art specifically, you got to take what you want and leave what you want, and you got to take the bits that you want to see in your own life or you're inspired by or you want to feel, and leave the bits you don't. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to. You can love watching the argument but not want to be involved, and you can love seeing the passion and be inspired to go and find that elsewhere. But yeah, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it's not a rule book for people to follow. It's, you know, it's entertainment for them to enjoy and maybe learn a bit from, but also learn what not to do. So yeah, as I say, you gotta take some and definitely leave some as well. I think that's such an interesting thing to ask, and I feel like I'm so lucky that we've been able to do enough films to let those characters grow into like real kind of important roles, and not just the father figure and mother figure, but also like with their own story. And through, for example, like Vance and Kimberly, you start to understand a little bit more about their upbringing, and the more we learn about Vance and Trish and Ken and how their upbringing was, you start to realize that we could make a show about the parents and their upbringing, and that like, just like in real life, you think your parents are these like, you know, perfect people who have never set a foot wrong and they've always been old, wise and mature, and when you kind of take a step back, you realize they're just kind of kids who have grown up and are pretending to know how to parent. And it's actually really entertaining and realistic, and you know, it's just accurate seeing parts of their personal life and upbringing slip through, and that they're actually in a way a reflection of the younger generation and vice versa. So yeah, I love working with them outside of the filming as well. They're all amazing. Steve Moyer, who plays Vance, is like almost like a father figure to me. He's ridiculously good at pool. He almost swindled me at pool as well, which I'll never forget. But no, he's a lovely guy on and off the set. They all are. So yeah, we're so lucky to have them, and I love how we can kind of watch more of their story as the films go on. Do you know what? Specifically, no. I feel like we've covered a lot as well. We've got a lot of movies down, a lot of minutes, and a lot of hours across the world on set. I feel like I've been so lucky with everything After's given me in terms of just like experience in life. But the way you worded that question's made me think. I think something that I've realized, especially more and more recently, you're always like looking forward to like when you're doing prep for the film, you can't wait to start, and when you're near the end, you can't wait to finish, and when you're on a Friday, you can't wait for the weekend. And I just think like really enjoying the process and enjoying the moment you're in is something that you have to do, because you'll find enjoyment in everything as long as you just appreciate the moment. But to answer your question, no, I think I'm very happy with everything we've covered, and I think Anna Todd's books have allowed us to explore such a wide range of like genres and emotions and themes. So no, I think I'm pretty happy with everything we've covered, to be honest. I remember saying to my agent the first time I got on like a business class flight, and I was like, the seats went like all the way flat, like the seats, I could lie down the whole flight. And I remember saying to him like, I really hope I don't get used to that. I need that every time. And when you don't fly a lot, that is really special, when you know that you won't take it for granted. But when you start flying more and more frequently, and you spend a lot of your year doing it, you start to realize, hey, if those guys upstairs have the money, they can pay for me to lie down on the flight. So sadly, I think that has become something I'm more accustomed to. And when I'm away for months at a time, I do often ask for an apartment because I love to cook rather than being in a hotel where you can't cook. It makes me feel a bit more at home. But other than that, man, I make a strong effort to not try and leave the ground too much and ask for too much. I think it's really important to obviously stay grounded and not let your head get too big and all that stuff. So you've interviewed me almost every time, so you have to have a good idea of it. Make sure you let me know if I'm ever too demanding on here with you. But no, I think other than a nice flight out there and an apartment if I can, I'd like to think my demands haven't changed, and I hope they never will.